Lower New York State's wild places. It never fails to amaze how many natural wonders we can discover, and often they lie just right there under our noses. Two on your sides, Terry Belke takes us to the outdoors.
You'll find Smith Woods tucked away in a corner of the tiny central New York village of Trumansburg, New York. At first glance, one might not think too much of it, but a hike through this serene forest reveals a long history. Smith Woods is an old-growth forest, one of a dwindling number of ancient groves that harbors history of our natural heritage. The land was originally over 600 acres, and after changing hands many times over the decades, is now down to a mere 32. For many years, the land was protected by a trust in Trumansburg.
They managed it for about 100 years, and then about 6 or 7 years ago, it was given to the Nature Center. And so that's what we have today. And this parcel was never logged, it was never used for agriculture, and it's a really jewel right here along the main road between Ithaca and Trumansburg.
Most old-growth forests get that way because they are located in places that are difficult to reach. That's one of the things that makes this one so unique. Somehow it managed to survive as the surrounding village grew.
There's a swamp behind me, and that most of that land was logged and used for agriculture. So the people who did that came up to this point of where it was wet and swampy, and they decided not to go any further. And a small little parcel was left. Maybe it was used for a woodlot, nobody knows. But maybe the gentleman who owned it at the time just liked the big trees and decided, I'm not just going to cut that and leave it alone.
Walking through an old-growth forest is an experience unlike any other. A step into the woods feels as if you're entering a green cathedral.
It just really embraces you. The temperature drops a lot, the humidity goes up, and it just almost feels like a warm embrace in here. The sounds from the traffic can all subside. It's really a nice, peaceful place to be in the summertime.
Although old-growth forests comprise less than 1% of forests across the state, they contain a wealth of invaluable information.
Old-growth forests are like a living history book. It's like being able to essentially go back in time in a sense, and part of the goal of an ecologist and an environmental biologist is to be able to read the forest, to be able to see all of the different kinds of plants that are there and the topography and the soil and so on, and to be able to make sense of how things at many different time scales work together to create the forest that we see today.
Smith Woods would never have survived for this long without the community it dwells in. The people of Trumansburg have embraced the forest as if it was an arboreal family.
They have been very supportive over the years in simply making sure that the woods haven't been developed or otherwise greatly disturbed. And so whatever sorts of educational things that we do in Smith Woods is done in collaboration and for the Trumansburg community and the greater Ithaca community and the Central New York community.
Reporting from Trumansburg, New York, taking you to the outdoors, I'm Terry Belke.
Oh, what a beautiful state we live in. Well, plenty more ahead here on